Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you might be today. I'm Shauna White, relationship coach for spiritually awake couples. And today I wanted to share with you why I am here championing love in your relationship. We all have a story, and I wanted to share mine with you so you can see deeper into what I'm even doing here with you. I have written this out. I normally would prefer to just be with you and speak to you. But in this experience of writing out my story, I got to some really deep feelings, and I want to make sure I share those with you. So I'm going to read today. I'm just trying to get this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go. I believe in love. When I was 14 years old, I started reading A Course in Miracles. If you've ever read that book, you know it's more convoluted than Shakespeare. Sometimes I reread one sentence 6 times just trying to get what it was saying. My 14, 15, 16-year-old brain would get so stretched and bedazzled trying to decode the spiritual truths in those pages that drowsiness would come like an undertow and pull me into sleep. But I was determined to study that book because it showed me things my soul dearly craved to see. It painted for me a vision of a powerful spiritual presence of love that could transform the pain and suffering on earth into a beautiful, wholesome, healed paradise, if only we knew how to access this love and become a vessel for it. My heart ached for the pain of humanity. I felt called and driven to save the world by helping humanity bridge the gap to this spiritual love. Big britches for a teenager. But the truth was, I needed this saving myself more than anything. Just before I turned 4 years old, my mom passed away from breast cancer. That's when love got broken. Suddenly, the warm, steady sunshine of mom love that was my anchor, my safety, and my world was gone. I didn't understand why my mom went away. But without my mom's love, my world felt heavy and dark, and I felt alone, unloved, and like I didn't matter. My dad pulled our family together, him, my 2 sisters, and me. We were a tight family with a lot of love, but it didn't change the pain and the feeling deep down inside me that I was alone and unlovable. Have you ever felt secretly alone and unlovable? So I was driven to learn about this spiritual love because my wounded heart was searching, crying for where is a love that will hold me and never leave, a love I can count on, a love that will heal this deep down pain inside. From the age of 14, I started to study how to walk as a vessel of divine love because it was the only way I could make sense of myself in the world. I studied how to open my mind and heart to God. I remember the day I discovered what it was like to go beyond believing and talking about this big spiritual love to actually feeling it for the first time firsthand inside my being. It was a sunny June day, and I was sitting at the picnic table outside my spiritual mentor's house with my mentor and another student. The waterfall behind the house roared pleasantly in the background. I was feeling awkward as usual in my head and trying to relax out of the compulsive self-editing I always did ever since I could remember. I was always self-conscious and uncomfortable in my own skin around other people. But today I was a little less tense because the spotlight was on the other student. So I could just relax into trying to listen without criticism, even though I thought the struggle he was sharing was kind of stupid and immature. But I was trying not to judge. Empty the thoughts. Just listen. Then suddenly I felt this warm glow of energy light up my chest. It made pleasant tickly sensations in my throat. I felt like my heart was smiling. And suddenly I could feel and understand the other student deeply. I could feel his innocent nature and how he goofed up with the best of intentions and how he judged himself for it. I felt love for him radiate from my heart. At the same time, I felt so peaceful in my own skin and completely at ease. That secret, alone, and unlovable feeling evaporated in the sunshine of love energy filling my being. Oh my God, this is divine love. And then it was gone, my familiar, self conscious awkwardness in its place. My introduction to the experience of God within was brief, but it made a lasting impression. I knew that what I was striving for was real. It gave me conviction and hope for a beautiful, fulfilling life with more practice. But I wanted this big, beautiful love in an intimate relationship most of all, and that proved mystifyingly difficult. That awkward self consciousness I always felt in company, well, it followed me into my love life. I desperately wanted to feel the ease of just being myself, but I was stuck between stilted uncertainty inside and wanting things to go well with my boyfriend, whoever he was at the time. I found myself nurturing him and taking cues from him to fit in with what he thought was cool, so he would love me. It was a subconscious compulsion. I couldn't not do it, whether I had awareness about it or not. Well, surprisingly, leaning into nurturing and taking care of my boyfriend did not lead to heartfelt intimacy. There was physical intimacy, but instead of heartfelt connection, I felt alone inside, like my real self was a secret that I didn't know how to share. I felt unseen, overlooked. Have you ever felt that unseen, secret feeling? My heart also hurt every time he complained that we didn't have enough sex, or because I said the wrong thing or didn't say the right thing. It hurt that surface level things mattered and my real self was not even on the map. He just wanted his needs met. He didn't care about really knowing me, really connecting with me. After 2 decades of high hopes and heartbreak, I hit a breaking point. I remember that day so clearly. I was sitting in my truck for hours, just parked in the driveway, gut-wrenching tears coming in waves. My hands hurt from hitting the steering wheel so hard. I was so frustrated and heartbroken from believing so fully in deep, heartfelt, lasting love. And yet always my relationship painfully fell short and fell apart. I felt like my real self was a secret, unlovable nothing, trapped inside an invisible private box that I didn't know how to get out of. No one knew the real me, and if they did, they wouldn't love me because they wouldn't love a nothing. They only loved me for what I did for them. I felt so overlooked and used and unloved and broken. As I stared into my deepest secret self, at the raw pain of feeling unseen, overlooked, and unloved, soaking myself into the pain to face it and find some deeper clarity, a gift of grace was bestowed upon me. In that very moment, the storm inside me shifted and an insight started to gel. And I realized, by the grace of God, what I was doing wrong all along. When it came to my love life, I looked away from my inner being. I looked away from my deepest heart, the heart of divine love within, the heart of self-love. I basically kicked it to the curb without even noticing. I thought loving someone else and being in love with someone else was so beautiful that I gave myself away to it. And I didn't realize until this moment how I was walking out on myself in the most subtle and important way. And in this moment, I saw that that's the real reason I felt unseen and unloved. Because I didn't believe that my deepest self-worth was even, excuse me, because I didn't believe that my deepest self was even worth my own attention. I believed the relationship would make up for that deep down unlovableness in a beautiful and healing way. But I had it all wrong. On that day, I committed to stand by my sacred heart. I would listen to and honor my deepest inner being first and foremost in every situation. And I did. And one of the first things I realized was that I had no idea how to be in a healthy relationship with my heart and a man at the same time. All my relationship skills that I had developed since a young person were rooted in running away from that secret unlovable feeling inside me. I had to start all over and relearn a completely new way to be in relationship, a way that put divine love within me in charge. And from holding this inner sanctuary in myself and honoring this inner sanctuary in my relationship experiences, I finally found the beautiful, lasting love I was looking for. First, I found it in myself, but then it came to me in my love life too. I met a man who felt touched and liberated by the way I spoke from heartfelt honesty and invited him to do the same. He believed in beautiful, lasting love, big love, but he never knew the freedom and flow of a relationship rooted in heartfelt authenticity. He was taught, like we all are taught, that love exists within conditions, and we have to fit ourselves into the boxes other people offer us as the contract for their love. When he met me, he experienced an invitation to honesty, goodness, and freedom that he blossomed in. And as he blossomed in honesty, goodness, and freedom, he offered the same grace to me. That's when I found out that some hurts only heal with a partner, when you can both show up together in deep honesty and love at the same time. We continue to grow together in a relationship that feels deeply intimate and supportive and free. I know you believe in love, a big, beautiful, lasting love. And everything you've been taught is throwing you off the trail of how to experience that love in your life. It's my mission to give you the keys and guide you in developing the skills to let that big love blossom and flow. And that is why I'm here with you today.